The hardest thing that most therapists have with this, the hardest problem is it's not what to do with their hands, it's what to do with their body. Because if I were to normally, historically treat Gordon, what do? We lean in. But here you're leaning away. You're not leaning into their body. You're pulling weight off of their body while still maintaining contact. So it's hard on your back. It's hard on your legs. It's hard on your shoulders. You're gonna be pulling away. You're intentionally not letting yourself relax into them. You're standing away from them. So if your table's not at the right height, drop down to a knee. Let your elbows rest on the table when you're trying to play with the scale to get the right pressure. Take the weight off. Instead of having to hold everything in my arm, I drop my elbow and then I'm just having to play with my hand. Okay? And when we do, you don't treat someone with your fingertips. This is creepy, right? Creeper touch. You treat them with your whole hand. It's my palm. So when you're playing with the scale, 0, there you go. Use your hand. Use your hand. Not use your fingertips. And nobody treats someone like this. You don't do this when you do treatment, right? You move your hand. So on the scale, don't do this. Move. Glide across the scale. Okay, as light as you can. And then you try to replicate that on their body. Now, the first thing that happens if you have dry skin, if your hands are cold, or they have dry skin, which is normal, you're gonna glide across the skin. That's not the goal of the treatment. You wanna have grip with the skin. So, sometimes you have to hold your hand there and let the heat transfer between your hand and their skin create a humid contact. And once the humidity is there, then the skin starts moving and I'm not gliding over the skin. Okay? So you guys wanna practice with 3 to 10 grams. I'm not looking for dysfunction anymore. This has nothing to do with the person on the table. This entire lab has nothing to do with the person on the table. This is about you as a student right now. We don't care about problems, we don't care about aches, we don't care about dysfunction. This is about you as a practitioner getting better at pressure. So their feedback is fine. They can't tell you if it's too much pressure or not. They don't know what 3 grams is yet. So you play with the scale, go 0 to 10, go find 0 to 10. Okay, and then do 10 to 30. And then go do 10 to 30. 30 to 150. And then do 30 to 150. And on and on and on. Play with multiple areas of the body. You find your scale, you get your pressures. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go, 3 to 10 grams, 10 to 30 grams, 30 to 150. Look, some joint movement. It's almost the same as what Tracy Walton was talking about at step 3. But now I have a number. And then I wanna go up to 200 grams, and then up to 400 grams, 450. 450 is usually, most therapists, I feel, when I get treatment from people, like roughly right now, Gordon, tell me if that's what most people's introductory touch is. Like most people, when they first get up, they go, okay, welcome to the session. That's the 450, which means you've already missed out on 4 potential densities as a problem source. I have a client. He has the nickname, we call it, is dinosaur syndrome. It's William Schneider's disease. And what he has is his vertebrae are growing as he ages in a way where they're protruding outwards. And so when he stands, and he tries to stand straight, normally straight, his spinous processes pinch and literally contact themselves. And so he has a debilitating pain through here. He's a construction worker. He's had construction, he's been in the construction, he's a foreman, he owns several construction. The only treatment we do that is positive, anything with pressure, applies those spinous processes together. The only treatment he gets twice a week for half an hour is he comes in and I do this. 3 to 10 grams of pressure for half an hour away from the brain. He stays conscious through the entire experience. His pain disappears and stays away for 2 weeks. And then he comes, and just this, there's no depth. He doesn't need, he's a construction worker. His muscles are strong. Yeah, we're conscious the whole time. Sometimes he'll, sometimes we'll stop talking, but he's not asleep. He stays conscious. And I often check, I watch their breathing pattern and stuff like to make sure that they're awake. Yeah. And in the beginning couple sessions, the first 4 or 5, there was constant communication so that he understood why I was doing what I was doing. Because the first time he got this, he thought he needed a deep elbow. But every time he gets deep treatment, every time, he spasms. He goes into pain. Every time he gets treatment, that's profound. And that spasm can persist for months at a time because his nervous system is so hypervigilant that there's no fraction for error. Even lifting his arms out in front of him, non-weight bearing, like with nothing in his hands is enough for his spine to seize up on him. So we just do this. That's it. No extra pressure. And it's the only thing that's helped him. So like in the beginning, when we first started to do the introduction, right, it was, okay, we're gonna do this because first, every time you go in with depth through the health history, I found out every time we go in with depth, you have more symptoms. So if everybody who's ever treated you has gone in with depth and you haven't had a positive change, my elbows are not more powerful. I'm not more precise in my touch. I don't know where the cue is better than someone else. So what could I do that's different? Which is, I'm gonna go lighter this time instead of depth because depth tends to flare up your system. Secondly, we're gonna try to engage your parasympathetic system response to try to down-regulate your nervous system, which is a concept called central sensitization. And once your parasympathetic response is engaged profoundly enough, you will move away from a vigilant state, allostasis, which again, I do that with my clients so they know what that is. And once your brain is calmed down and you no longer perceive a threat, you'll be able to move until you feel overwhelmed again. That's it. Doesn't take long. I don't have to dumb it down for them. I can be very normal in my communication with them. Okay? We just do that.